Okay, now we're standing on Main Beach, North Stradbroke Island. So you can see the difference here. So out there are our waves breaking, probably about 1 metre offshore swell, about 7 seconds. And the main difference here is you can see the size of the beach. If you looked at Bradbury's or 1 Mile Beach, we were sitting at something that was only about 10 metres long, maybe a little bit, oh no, about 10 metres long is probably fine. But here we've got actually a 100 metre long beach or something like that. In terms of its cross-shore profile. And what we have here are people doing beach surveying down into the water level, down to about knee deep, and they would have started up there. Now, one of the things that to look out for when you go to a beach like this, that you really like to see if you're a coastal manager, are these things that are in the center of the screen. Sorry, I'm walking up at the moment. And up here what you have, if you have a look at this vegetation line running along my finger there, that's an incipient foredune. So that's the first location where sand will start building up on the beach due to spinifex grass. So that's spinifex grass just there. And the reason we like to see that as coastal managers is that's the first bit of sand that when a storm comes in, gets eroded and then gets dumped into the surf zone. And as you put more sand in that surf zone, it gets shallower, increases dissipation due to wave breaking, and that protects the beach from a storm event. So as the waves are quite big, you end up with erosion of this entire beach, so everything here gets dumped out into the surf zone out there. But the shoreline position doesn't change, it doesn't start careening off inland. Now immediately behind that incipient foredune, here is these trees. So these are casuarina trees. So these are like needle leaf trees. They're a bit like the pine trees, or Australia's version of it. Now you might not be able to see it very well, but just because of the sun, I'll just see if I can get a bit of a better view of it. I've got some photos that are attached to it, but if you have a look here, you can see an erosion scarp. So that location where the casuarina trees are is an example of where the storm can erode to. So they're old erosion scarps from old storms, and they're still, you can still see them on the beach here. So that's the kind of location that this beach can erode back to. Now immediately behind that, you might be able to see it just through the trees here, are the parabolic dunes. So these are the big dune systems. As we look down there, that's what mainly we see here. These big massive dune systems on North Stradbroke Island. They go up hundreds of meters into the air, and they're built over many, probably millions of years actually. Kevin Welsh has just given us an age of that a few hours ago. And so the scale of the system here is huge. So those dune systems are massive. We've got this incipient foredune. We have another foredune behind it, or a storm berm. And the scale of this beach system is massive, and that's all to do with the much larger wave energy that we get at Main Beach here. It's really quite large in comparison to most locations on the east coast of Australia, just because it's really exposed. There's nothing in the way out there. So where you get the higher energy, you get much larger beach systems because the waves are capable of depositing sediment up here, and then the winds can blow sediment inland, and that's why you get your big dune systems occurring. So yeah, larger berms as well, which can stop some of the run-up. And this is kind of what we want to see when we're managers. Of course, most of the time you're managing complex environments where people are living, so maybe they've removed, you know, the entirety of the storm berm and the foredune and built houses there, so all you have is this foredune protecting it, which can disappear in a storm. So they're the kind of environments we often end up managing when we're coastal managers, but this is a undeveloped natural beach system, and this is more or less what they should look like if left to their own devices. So thanks very much. I'll leave it there.